distinguished UNESCO chairs in gender equality, ladies and gentlemen, it's an enormous pleasure and honor to have the opportunity to address this global summit of you all gathered here. In particular, I'd like to start with thanking warmly Dr. Rao, UNESCO Chair for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment and Director for the Center for Women Empowerment and Gender Equality in Amrita University. Thank you very much, Dr. Rao, for inviting me to speak to you today and for gathering all gender-related UNESCO chairs and networks. I am also honored and pleased to be following such a warm welcome from Ava DuVernay. It's very touching. It goes straight to my heart. I would like also to take this opportunity to warmly greet my UNESCO colleagues who are involved in this important event, in particular, Eric Falt, Director and UNESCO Representative, New Delhi Cluster Office. As you know, since 2008, gender equality has been, along with Africa, one of the two global priorities for UNESCO. This means that in all of UNESCO's field of competence and in its actions in education, the sciences, culture, communication, gender equality must be taken into account. This is not only through mainstreaming gender equality aspects in all programs and projects and in the organization itself, but also through the implementation of gender equality transformative work, addressing the root causes of gender inequality and changing lives of people. I took up my post as Director of the UNESCO Division for Gender Equality just a few short months ago. This is particularly troubled time as we are in midst of a global pandemic still, which has adversely affected women and girls of all ages, and which has brutally undone many decades of hard work and progress toward gender equality. In addition, we are witnessing a rise in extremist ideologies and intensifying climate change, both of which are set to negatively affect past gains and the empowerment of women in general. In the context of this fast-changing, multifaceted and uncertain global context, UNESCO will embark on a new 8-year medium-term strategy from next year until 2029, proposing an integrated and transversal framework with 4 strategic objectives and which promises coherent and impactful program implementation cycles centered on 9 specific outcomes. Gender equality has been mainstreamed throughout these strategic elements. And the role of the division I lead, integrated into the cabinets of the Director General, is to monitor, promote, coordinate, build capacity, catalyze, advise, and innovate for the integration and advancement of gender equality in all parts of the organization, both at the global level and in headquarters, and in more than 50 field offices around the world. The findings of an ongoing internal evaluation of gender equality in UNESCO, while commending progress to date, recommended that UNESCO should invest more energy in more gender transformative actions in education, in science, in culture and communication, with increased tangible impact on the ground. As a global priority, gender equality is the business and responsibility of everyone, in headquarters and in the field, in UNESCO as well as in national structures. And to achieve lasting results, it is essential that we engage all internal and external partners and networks rooted in common values and goals. I have been asked to share with you my vision today. My vision for the next biennium builds on past progress and takes into consideration the huge and still, in my view, untapped potential of UNESCO to change people's lives, in particular women's and girls' lives, for good, for the better. I intend to consolidate ongoing support to UNESCO programs and help improve and steer the orientation of UNESCO towards more lasting, transformative gender equality impacts. I come from the field. I would like to see impacts translated into the lives of people. In this regard, I intend to launch one mechanism and two flagships that might interest you as chairs for UNESCO specialized on gender equality, and where you may want to join in some significant role. To the mechanism, I would like to mobilize global expertise in gender equality to deepen our work and support sectors in their program implementation, moving to the transformative part of our work in all of UNESCO's field of competence and in an interdisciplinary way. Our aim is to establish a gender expert facility as a long-term engagement comprised of a roster, a data bank of gender experts on whom we can call for specific short-term expertise to match needs from sectors and field offices. Coordinated by myself and my team here, these experts will be providing technical assistance, research, advice, advocacy, peer-to-peer learning. This may help adjust the design of an initiative, document a good practice, roll out a survey, a campaign, or help raise funds or act as a high-level influencer. The operational aspects and financing of such a facility are currently under study and review. In this context, I will address a note to gender-related UNESCO chairs and networks, as they may be an essential partner, as I said, in this exercise. We will engage with the chairs and networks in the coming weeks and months to advance this ambition and explore ways and means for mutual engagement. We also intend to launch two high visibility and high impact flagship initiatives. The first one is on positive masculinities, and it will consist in showcasing instances and actions for positive roles of men and boys supporting gender equality in the media, in creative industries, in particular, in education, in science. The aim is to identify good practices, which we can help scale up and support sectors to launch innovative approaches building on men's and boys' roles. This flagship will entail specific initiatives in the media and communication, in culture, education, and science. Global and national campaigns, conferences, workshops, exhibitions, awards, research, specialized publications, among many other possibilities. The second flagship is about empowering women artists in Africa in particular, giving visibility and support to their businesses in the creative sector, supporting their access to decision-making positions, and reducing their persistent economic precariousness. This flagship is one of 3 UNESCO commitments taken recently and for the coming 5 years in the framework of the Generation Equality Forum, which has just taken place in Paris in June, early July. So in a nutshell, these short points outline our vision for the next few years ahead of us. UNESCO chairs and networks in gender equality, covering education, science, technology, culture, health, women's rights, leadership, are an invaluable resource to achieve our goal for gender equality, the most powerful lever to achieve the Transforming Our World UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the African Union 2063 Agenda, the Africa we want. I wish you a very successful global summit, and I look forward to working with you all and hearing about the results of your discussions. I will not be able to remain with you along all the discussions during the 2 days, but members of my team will be following, and I like to hear the results of these discussions. Thank you very much for your attention and a lot of success.